Today I'm going to show you how to make a Versa aider out of a free safety harness that comes with the deer stand. Hey gang, before I start, I want to talk about the Versa aider from Backwoods Mobile Gear. I don't have any affiliation with them, and I just want to say that it is a fantastic idea. It's absolutely genius, and from what I've seen, it works really, really well, and I've found all kinds of reasons as to why I would want to use it. Personally, I like to make my own stuff, and that's why I'm making one. I encourage anybody out there to go out and get one of these from this company if you don't like making your own stuff. Today I'm just going to show you a way to repurpose an old safety harness and make one. I slapped one together the other day, worked really well, so now I'm going to do it again. So here we have a basic safety harness that comes in just about every stand from Menards or Walmart or any other place like that. This isn't anything fancy, it's the freebie that comes with it, so they don't have to worry about their liability. On this particular one, there is a leg strap here, and if I take this leg strap apart, I've got a good piece of material, and it almost already looks like an aider itself. So I'm going to go ahead and take it apart. Discard the rest of that for now, and here we have the material that I'm going to use. It's even got a way to fold itself up already. This is going to be my loop that I connect to my Versa button. So I'm going to go ahead and sew it up right now. So the reason that I'm folding this up is because it fits over the Versa button easier when you do that. So this is simply as easy as folding it in half and putting a seam down. And that's it. This isn't load bearing, so I don't have to really worry about it. It's just for convenience. All right, the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this open so that I can do a couple things here. The first one is I want to get rid of this Chinese metal that's I don't want to count on to save my life. And the next thing is I've got to slip this over the top so that it has a way to keep itself open. This is just a piece of garden hose. So when I cut this, I'm going to choose to cut this side because it's actually the end and there's no reason to have an extra seam in there that could weaken and fail. The next thing I'm going to do is decide on the length of my Versa aider. I probably should just call it an aider because it's not a Versa aider. I don't sell them, they do. So this is adjustable for me and my height because I'm making it custom myself. So I'm going to place the loop about mid-thigh. I'm going to wrap it under my foot and I'm going to stand on that piece of garden hose. Then I'm going to pull on this end until it comes tight. And at that point I know where I want to make my seam at. So I've got my seam in the same spot that it was, and I'm just going to run a seam stitch through it. So at this point I have a functional aider, but I'm going to do a couple other things to it. One thing I'm going to do for a little bit of added extra strength is I cut another small piece and I'm going to go around that seam that I made with it, and then I'm going to sew that in place as well. It just makes me feel better. So one of the great things about that Versa-Aider that I keep mentioning is that you only need one each time you step up. It unhooks itself. The reason it unhooks itself is because it's got a piece of shock cord right here. If you don't know what shock cord is, then Google it. It's basically an elastic cord. So what you would do next, and I don't have any shock cord, is sew that shock cord onto your aider that you've just made. And remember, this stopped at about mid-thigh. You need to add about 5 inches past that so that when it does stretch, it can hook onto with a carabiner or anything else onto a belt loop or onto your saddle or whatever sort of thing you're wearing. And that's the only difference. So now all I do is I take it and I hook the loop over my Versa button. This might be a touch high, but that's all right. Plant my toe in the tree, and I climb. What this enables me to do is if I'm hunting a property, I don't hunt a lot of public land, but I do hunt property that has other people hunting on it, and sometimes I don't always know who they are. So the main thing for me is I don't want them to hunt my stands, and I know it's tempting when somebody sees something. In this situation, I would just take this step with me, and my top step, my next step would be clear up there. I just don't want to make it easy to be able to hunt my stands is all. Suppose if somebody wants to pack a bunch of stuff in, and then hope that I don't come along, more power to them. But I'd rather just get along. But this is what I would do. That way I only have to take this. I'm not completely mobile. I like to leave most of my sets in a certain location because I put them there for a reason. So that's it.